Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Everett High School for tonight's volleyball matchup between the Saugus Sachems and your Everett Crimson Tide. Tonight, we will be honoring our Crimson Tide seniors as we celebrate senior night. But before we announce our seniors, we'd also like to recognize the seniors from Saugus High School. Number 9, Ryan Maloney. Number 14, Fallon Millerick. Number 20, Cassie Wilson. And number 27, Samantha Valley. And now your seniors for the Everett Crimson Tide. Number 3, Liv Pomar. Number 5, Talita Cardoso. Number 7, Captain Jacqueline Abranches. Number 10, Hanadi Labava. Number 16, Jaslyn Prevalon. And number 33, Captain Ashley Hernandez.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I just came from the court delivering the public address for our seniors celebrating senior night. And now we're getting ready to start the action here from Everett High School. We have a non-league matchup. The Saugus Sachems coming to town to take on the Everett Crimson Tide. And we just had a very good JV game beforehand, too. Real nail biter, came down to the wire. And here we are for the varsity action. So seniors were honored on both sides of the court. And we are near the end of the regular season, so final matchups for these two teams. Both teams are in red, so if you're looking at your TV screen, Saugus is on the left of the court and Everett is on the right. Looks like the net separates things from getting confusing, but yeah, I would be a little confused, but I guess it makes sense if you're playing volleyball. So the Sachems will open things up. Oh, what a dig right off the bat. Keeping it in play. Oh, nice touch right there. But the Crimson Tide will get the point. Good volley to start things off. But the Tide with the first point of the night. And this is senior captain number 7, Jacqueline Abranches. She'll serve for the Crimson Tide. Dug out nicely right there by Fallon Millerick. And then Millerick again plays it off the scoreboard. And I think the scoreboard is in play. Does that sound right? Seems like it. So tied up 2-0. Good serve by Abranches. Handled right there. That's Branches. Oh, nice setup right there, but caught a little bit of the net, so the Sachems score the point. This is Ryan Maloney. And that catches the net. So the Tide will get the point. A couple of substitutions already for the Crimson Tide checking into the game. Number 33, libero Ashley Hernandez, and she replaces number 4, Sam D'Souza Drummond. Also checking out of the game for the Crimson Tide is number 6, Julissa Flores. Maloney over to Millerick. Nice combo by the Sachems right there. Good touch right there, good setup. Sachems score the point. And now Millerick will serve. And that's going to be just out, so the Tide will get it right back. And more substitutions coming in for the Crimson Tide. Checking into the game, number 10, Hanadi Labadla, and number 1, Vanessa Almonte. Sachems make a few substitutions of their own. Fallon Millerick has checked out of the game, replaced by number 27, Samantha Valley. Good serve by Labadla, nice dig by Valley. And over the net, score the point right there. Cassie Israelson with the big point to the top of the net, slams it home. 4-3 Crimson Tide by 1. This is the first set. Wow, really nice touch right there. Good dig by Labadla. Oh, beautiful touch right there. Nice hit. That was Vanessa Almonte. And now number 2, Michelle No. Played on by the Sachems. Valley to No. Labadla sends it back. Nice dig by No. Good volley right here. Branches played on. Wow, good effort right there. Lily Camo is number 2, wearing the libero, which can be a little different because that number changes a lot. So my program has her as number 5, but a little help from the Saugus JV team in front of me, helping me out. Almonte, nice, drops it right in. Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. You can see the crowd imploring to call it out. And the Sachems get it right back. Michelle No, great effort hitting the ground, but it falls. And this one's going back and forth early. 7-5 Crimson Tide, first set. Lily Camo will serve for the Sachems. That was a good serve right there. Labadla got handcuffed with that one. Not much she could do. That was a really good serve. So now the Sachems down by 1. And the Tide will get it back on the errant serve. 8-6 Crimson Tide. Almonte to serve. Talita Cardoso checks back into the game, replacing Labadla. Nicely dug out right there by Anna Silva. Good setup right there. a Branches. Valley gets it. Now it's Millerick. Back over to Flores. Nice touch by Drummond. Oh, good block by Cardoso. Now Drummond sets up a Branches. The action back and forth right now. Wow. What action. Pretty good stuff. Both teams really making some good plays. The volleys have been going back and forth. We got a good crowd on hand here tonight, too. Pretty good crowd. Sam Valley to serve. Not much you could do right there by, let's see. Valley, Tomas, over to D'Souza Drummond, now at Branches. Millerick over to Maloney. Oh, wow, what a dig, but to no avail. Great effort, but the Sachems again will score the point, and now the Sachems have their first lead. They are up 9-8. Good bid right there. That was a really good bid to dig it out. Not a lot you could do. That serve had a lot on it, but good effort. And that one falls. Sachem starting to string together some consecutive points now. Sam Valley's got the hot hand going. Sachem's up by 3. Tomas, D'Souza Drummond, Hernandez with it. Valley, Maloney, over to Millerick. Millerick puts a charge into it. Just gets it in. Yes, wow, that was close. But you could see it from here. It just inside the corner of the yellow square. So point's good. Went to the deep end of the court right there. Nice job by Hernandez. Wow, right over the scorer's table. And what a great job by Sam D'Souza Drummond. So now the Tide are down by 3. 12-9, first set. A Branches to serve. Valley sets up Maloney. Over to Rogers. Now the Tide, that's no. Sachem's up by 4. And that one falls. Saugus starting to pull away in this first set. They're up by 5. And that's going to go out of play. And the Crimson Tide will take a timeout. It's 15-9 Sachems in the first set. All right, we're back after the timeout. Sachems with a strong first set. After the Tide had a little bit of a lead early, the Sachems have strung together some scoring. They're now up by 6. Oh, nice touch right there. Tomas setting up D'Souza Drummond, but Valley is there. Wow, what a block right there. Good dig. Can they keep it in? Got to get it over. Great effort, though. Great effort. Nice job by Branches and a good job by D'Souza Drummond. Really strong volley, but the Sachems score the point. Good hustle, though. Oh, good. Wow. And that catches the net. And the Sachems continue the point streak, now up 17-9. That is and it continues, and the scoreboard just went out. Saugus has been lighting it up so much, the scoreboard just went out. I have an 18-9 score. I'll keep track. And that's another point. So that should be 19-9, which would be 7 straight points for the Sachems. It was a 12-9 game, and they've recorded 7 straight. Looks like we have a little bit of an outage over at the scorers table. So we have a little bit of pause in the action right now. There it is. Score's back on. I see it on one side, and it should actually be 19. I mean, one scoreboard would certainly work, and that, well, it was short-lived. Looks like someone stepped off the bicycle to the generator. Usually that's, you know, how the electricity runs around here. So, get back on it, will you? All right, so 18-10. So here we go. Good audience, good audience. All right, so we're back in play here. That's Ashley Hernandez. That's dugout. All right, so there you go. Michelle, no, what a hit right there. Valley sends it deep into the rafters. That stays in play. This one's going to have to, nice job by Ivy McLaughlin, gets it over. That's played up. Tomas and Cardoso, looked like Tomas and Cardoso met simultaneously, but the point will go to the Sachems. And now they are up 19-10. That is out of bounds. Big point by the Crimson Tide. Got a good showing from the student body here tonight. See some members of the football team in attendance. Also got some members of the basketball team. And just overall students. And another point right there. That one for the Sachems. Nice job by Labavla. Still in play. Oh no, that's Saugus's point. And the crowd is so loud, you can't even hear the whistle. The place is rocking right now. Very good atmosphere here at Everett High School. Deafening crowd. This is pretty good stuff. So the Sachems are up 21-12. And that is Ava Rogers with the serve. Julie Miranda had a nice shot on that one. And now it's Miranda again, setting up Almonte. And Saugus's point. It's out of bounds. So the Sachems get the point there. Good effort by Almonte, but just missed the mark. Now Almonte gets nice touch into that one. And Valley sends it deep. Hernandez keeps it in, but that'll be another point for the Sachems. Now adding to their lead up 23-12. And another point. So the Sachems are on a roll right now. And this will be for set point coming up. They're up by 12, 24-12. Lababla over to Miranda. Now it's no. And that should be in. Yes, okay. So big point by the Tide. They're up against it in this first set. But now they have the serve in their favor. They're going to have to string together 11 straight here. But hey, that's why we play the games. Now, Valley sends it back over. Lababla to Miranda. Over to Almonte. Nice job by Almonte. And now Valley, good job by Sam, gets it back over. And that one drops. Again, a little bit of a miscommunication. So the Tide stringing together their second straight point. So now the Crimson Tide down by 10, 24-14. Michelle No to serve. Nice job by Michelle No. If you saw that right there, No hit kind of like a knuckleball. The ball didn't have much rotation, and I think it was kind of like it kind of came in a little tough. Another good serve by No. This time it is dug out. And now the Tide trying to make things interesting. Ooh, good job by Ashley Hernandez. Wow. The senior captain with some great eyesight on that one. It was close. I think it was it was close. It was right there though. Ooh, but that one is in, and that one will score. So that will secure the first set for the Sachems as they take set number 1, 25-17. We are ready to begin the second set. If you're just joining us, the Sachems took the first one, 25-17. So the way this works is, if the Sachems win this next set, they'll take the match. Everett will have to win the set to force the third one. Good job by Labadla. Over to No. Oh, great bid. It was a little too long, but good effort by Michelle No. She put everything she had into that one. Just ran out of real estate on the court. Now it's going to be number 35, Ashley Moore, to serve for the Sachems. Hernandez over to No. That's going to be D'Souza Drummond. Nice job again. Sam D'Souza Drummond is having a very strong evening here. And now she checks out of the game. And she's replaced by number 8, Julie Miranda. Oh, good job by Abranches. Wow, good action here. And that one catches the net. Sachems to score the point. So now Sachems up 3-1. Sam Valley to serve. That's going to take a big effort to get it back. Great hustle by Labadla. But again, the Sachems off to a very good start in the second set. That's out of play. And the Sachems continue their streak. So coming back after the timeout, Sachems to serve. It's going to be Sam Valley. Hernandez over to Miranda. Now it's Cardozo. Millerick, and that's going to be a little too long, so the Crimson Tide will score the point. Cardozo, nice serve by Cardozo. Backs up the Sachems. They're going to have to get this one over. And, oh, good job by Hernandez. Can they get it over? Nice job, Cardoso. And Hernandez made that happen. Branches helped keep it alive. Good job again by Hernandez to Miranda. Over to Almonte. Great volley here. Both teams doing a great job getting this back and forth. Oh, nice touch. Good job by Miranda. Look at this. This is a great action right now. Wow. Whoever was scoring that point, it was well-deserved. Both teams returning it several times in some tough situations as well. But the Sachems end up scoring the point. But again, great action back and forth. Both teams doing a great job. Sachems now up by 5 in the second set, 7-2. Excellent effort right there by number 15, Emanuele Fernandez. And that helped score the Crimson Tide the point. That set them up. She went to the floor to dig that out. That set up the rest of her teammates to make the play. Good job. Now it's Michelle No. Maloney gets it over. Now Miranda. Branches. But again, Ryan Maloney with the answer. Wow. So the Crimson Tide will score that one as it gets caught up in the net. 8-4 Sachems. And Julie Miranda to serve. And Miranda with the ace. Nice job by Julie. Tied down by 3. Another strong serve by Miranda. This time Valley gets it. Maloney keeps it alive. Over to McLaughlin. Now, no. Over to D'Souza Drummond. A little bit of a collision there, but they keep it alive. D'Souza Drummond. And that played off the net. Again, right by the net. Just gets it over. No to D'Souza Drummond. Branches sends it over. Maloney. Over to Moore. Branches. Oh, nice shot. What a dig by Valley. Oh, this stays in. Wow, okay. That was great. Jackie and Branches, and the crowd's loving it right now. Crowd is loving it. This is a barn burner here. So nice job by Branches. Great effort by Saugus to keep it alive, too. I mean, that was pretty good. So no, D'Souza Drummond. Almonte, and Almonte drops it in. Tide getting a little bit of momentum now. Riding the home crowd. Ooh, but the Sachems get the point right back. Miranda did a good job trying to dig that out, but it was just a well-placed ball. Sachems score the point. They're up by 2, 9-7, second set. This is going to be number 18. Oh, great effort. Again, Sachems might have scored the point, but Ashley Hernandez getting the Hustle Award. Just laid out full extension. She hit the deck hard. She got right back up. Hernandez really having a great game. Strong game, but the Sachems just making the right shots right now. And that was an ace right there. Again. So now Everett down by 3. It's senior Hanadi Lababa to serve. Lababa, ooh, just missed that one. Yeah, I was a little out. A good heater, but just ran out of real estate in the court. Now it is Ivy McLaughlin to serve. The crowd is rocking here. Branches. nice hit by Valley. That was a really nice job. Sam Valley got a lot into that one. Michelle No did a good job just getting her forearms on it, but there really wasn't much you could do with that. That had a lot of velocity. That was a good hit by Valley. So 13-8, Sachems on top. Again, Hernandez just making it happen. What a job. Ashley Hernandez is making it happen for the Crimson Tide. Does not hesitate to hit the floor at all. And then great touch to finish it off. Excellent job at the net to finish that off. Big point scored by the Crimson Tide. Let's see if they can get something going off the serve. Nice job by Abranches. Maloney. Oh, wow. Maloney gets it over. And the Sachems get it back. Nice job by Michelle No. And the junior. Big score right there. So the Tide really could benefit if they can hold serve and get some points out of this. And why not? It's in the hands of Ashley Hernandez. Hernandez puts a good charge into this one. Dug out by Silva. Nice touch right there. Lababla sets up Hernandez. And now it's Cardoso. Wow, again, good effort right there. And it's Cardoso. Talita Cardoso making the big play at the net. Now the Tide are down by 3. 14-11 Saugus, second set. Sachems took the first set. Wow. Again. Tide starting to roll. Now Hernandez to serve. Over to Camo, to Maloney. Oh, wow. Hernandez again, to no avail, but Hernandez just amazing the effort from captain Ashley Hernandez. Can't discount that. Ooh, that played up high. And that's going to catch the net. Sachems are going to get that one. Saugus back up by 4, 16-12. Oh, nice job. That ends up in the hands of Kyle, senior, from the Whittier School. I know Kyle very well. Valley over to Maloney. Now it's Millerick. Oh, Lababla with a great play. Sachems might have got the point, but again, this time it was Hanadi Lababla just battling in there to keep it alive, but credit to Sachems. They've had the answers tonight. Sachems up by 6. Now make it 5 as that serve catches the net. So Tide will get it back. Down by 5, 18-13. Emanuele Fernandez checks back into the Crimson Tide, and Ivy McLaughlin checks back in for the Sachems. Nice job by No, but unable to keep it alive. Sachems to score the point. 20-13, Saugus. Ryan Maloney, the senior, will serve. Fernandez to Miranda. Almonte. McLaughlin. And Fernandez unable to keep it in play. It was tough. It was a good hit right there. And that is out, so the Tide will get the point. They'll get it back. So Tide down by 7. Michelle No to serve. And the Crimson Tide score 2 in a row. Wow. That was hit high, but nice job by Jackie Abranches, the senior captain, with the big spike. Good job by Abranches. So now the Tide starting to roll together some consecutive points. And the crowd's going. Maloney. Abranches. Volley going back and forth. Got to get it over. They do. And the Sachems will have to get it over. And they do. Hey, what? I'm not sure. So Sachems up 23-16. And that is out. Crimson Tide point. Ends up in the net. So the Sachems now this is for the set. 24-17 Saugus. And the ace falls. And the Saugus Sachems. All right, we're moments away from beginning the third set. Saugus Sachems up 2-0. So again, folks, if you're just joining us or if you're a little unfamiliar with how this works, the next set, if Saugus wins the next set, they win. Everett would have to win 3 sets in a row to win this match. So they could possibly force a 5th set, but they're going to have to win the next 2 to force that 5th and ultimately win 3 in a row. So the Tide a little up against it, but they've been playing great tonight. Both teams been putting it all out there on the floor. Great hustle. A lot of good plays made. Sachems has just made a few more plays right now, but the Crimson Tide really playing strong tonight in front of what's been a very good crowd. Both crowds actually here. Been a very loud arena. Pretty good action. We're just getting the lineup straightened away as the officials going over with the Saugus head coach.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No. Nah, it's cool.
So yeah, a little cleanup at the scorers table here. We should be Okay, we are ready to go. So the Sachems will start things off here in this third set. Again, they're up 2-0. Both sets were of a 25-17 score. That was served by Yasmin Nunez. And now Maloney touches it over to Hernandez. D'Souza Drummond sets up no, but the Sachems will score the point. Good job right there by Labadla and Hernandez. It was a nice job by No to get it over. Now Labadla setting up. Oh, good touch right there, but was it in? Yes, it was. Okay, so the Crimson Tide get the point. Great touch. That was D'Souza Drummond, who just heads to the bench. Working on it. She got the handshake game down with Coach Spain. I mean, that looked official. And that just falls out of bounds. So again, the Tide score the point, and Everett up 2-1 in this third set. Ashley Hernandez to serve. Again, Hernandez just outstanding with the play she's made, and that helps set it up. I mean, I sound like a broken record, but she's made just play after play, hitting the ground, keeping it alive, setting up her teammates, and then credit the finish right there. Nice job by the Tide, up 3-1. Branches. Miranda to no. Good heat on that, just a little long, but good velocity. But the Sachems will score the point. So Sam Valley to serve. 3-2 Everett. And that's, again, played off the scoreboard. It's kind of cool. Wow, good job by Sam Falley to dig that out. And then Millerick sets it up. Credit the Sachems right there. That was some pretty good action. Some good hits by the Tide, but Saugus again coming up with the play. Nice job by Hernandez. That was a tough serve to dig out. She does. Rogers gets it over. Now No has it. Over to Miranda. That hits the net but skips over. Rogers comes in for the spike, but it's just a little out. Close, but a little out. Good hit on it, good velocity. Now it's Talita Cardoso. That is out. It'll go back to the Sachems. And substitution. Liz Tomas checks into the game, replacing Talita Cardoso. No digs out to serve by Maloney. Now it's Miranda setting up. No. Millerick sets up Maloney over to Rogers. And again, that's going to be just out. So the Tide will get the point. Wow. Okay. Maybe my eyes deceive me. But the Sachems get the point. So Saugus now up 5-4. Wow, that was pretty good meet at the net right there. Sachems will get the point. Simultaneous hit at the net, but it falls for Saugus. They're now up by 2, 6-4, third set. And that is going to be another point. Saugus has done this throughout the evening. They'll just string together points in a row, and they make it very tough. might get one back. That was big. They needed that. That'll stop the momentum for now. Let's see if they can keep it with the serve. There's a good look at number 71, Big Ricardo Abraham, affectionately known as Big Rick. Maloney over to Rogers. Now it's Tomas to Miranda. Almonte. Oh, good dig by Maloney. What a better hit right there. Excellent job by Vanessa Almonte. She's had a strong game too. The juniors come up with a lot of key plays right around the net, and that was a big point for the Tide. They just tied it up. No pun. I like that. All right, so 7-7. Now Millerick sends it back over to Tomas. Miranda sets up Almonte, and Almonte scores another one. Almonte starting to string it together now. So the Tide up by 1, 8-7. And the football team, they're making a lot of noise in the crowd. They're getting after it. Pretty good. Now Maloney, back to Rogers. And once again, right in the middle of it is Vanessa Almonte. It caught the net, but Almonte skied up. Valley, Maloney, over to Rogers, and a big point scored right there. Ava Rogers with the answer. And that'll get the serve back on the Sachems side. They're down by 1, 9-8 Crimson Tide, third set. And that is out. So the Tide will get the point, 10-8. Good serve right there by Miranda. And Nunez, and that's out. So now the Tide collecting some momentum now, up by 3. Wow, excellent job. Abranches and Almonte right there at the net, powering the play. And a timeout called by Saugus. And the Crimson Tide on top in this third set, trying to stay alive. They're up by 4, 12-8. All right, we are back after the timeout. Crimson Tide serve. It's going to be Julie Miranda. And the Tide score another one. Miranda, another strong serve. Maloney to Nunez. No, over to D'Souza Drummond. Tough play right there. Branches did a good job trying to keep it in, but it was a tough spot. She was to the far end of the court. Not really much you could do. Good job just getting there. Good effort. Nice job by Tomas setting up D'Souza Drummond. Oh, Almonte just going all out for that one. Maloney setting up Sam Valley. That was a good hit right there. What made that play happen is it partially caught the net, and then that changed the direction a little bit, leaving a tough play for the Tide to dig out. No does a nice job digging out that hard serve. And Hernandez sets up D'Souza Drummond. Again, love the play from D'Souza Drummond. You know I love the play out of Hernandez. Some really good things happening here. Again, what a great match we have here. Both teams really clicking on all cylinders. This has been a very entertaining game. So Vanessa Almonte, she gets the go-ahead from the ref. She serves. Lily Camo over to Maloney. And again, wow. Talita Cardoso, the senior, coming up with some big plays, holding it down at the net. Nice job by Cardoso. So Almonte will continue to serve. Crimson Tide up by 5. Rogers teardrop returned. And that one will go to Saugus. Hanadi Lababla checks back into the game. And a well-deserved break for Vanessa Almonte. Ooh, what an effort though, what a play by No and Almonte. Oh man, I tell you what though, that was a great play all around. Great play for Everett to keep it alive. Excellent job by Saugus to finish it off. Again, this is why this has been a very entertaining game. A lot of good action right there. Hernandez and No collided and still made the play and got right back up. So really, awesome job. Ooh, just out. Nice touch, but just a little too far to the left. And the Sachems now starting to string together some points in a row. And now this is Jessica Valley. Good serve by Jessica Valley, and you could see it right there. She kept it low, got right over the net, and those are tough to handle. So now the Sachems down by 1, 15-14 in the third set. Saugus again, they're up 2-0, so Saugus wins this set, that's ball game. Crimson Tide need this to stay alive. That should be... And that was very close. I'll defer to the officials, but that was close. But Sachems pick up the point, so now we're tied. And that's out. So a timeout called. And you can see the score right there. Saugus up by 1, 16-15. Third set of play. Sachems up 2-0. Again, point goes to Saugus, but again, Hernandez just all over the place. Love it. Love the effort. That's championship effort right there. Good point by Saugus, but love what's happening. And that's a good one right there. That should do it. They're going to have to get that one over. They do. Wow, what a play by Saugus to get that over. But nice job by Cardoso at the net. Now Rogers is going to have to get it over. She does. Michelle No sets up Sam D'Souza Drummond. Maloney over to Sam Valley. And that should be out. I saw out. Yes, okay. So the Tide get a big point back right there. They needed that after Saugus had strung together a few in a row. So now the Crimson Tide down by 1, 17-16. So this third set has really gone back and forth. So Saugus will get that back. They're up by 2. That is out. Good velocity there, but again, the dimensions are only so long. So just out for Sam Valley. So the Crimson Tide will get it back. Oh, again, hats off to the effort. Hanadi Lababla, great job laying out for that one. Saugus will pick up the point, but that effort wins me over every time. Again, that's the grit right there. That's good stuff. Branches over to Hernandez. Now it's Cardoso. Nice touch by Cardoso. A little touch on it. That's it, Toledo. Nice job. That's the Toledo touch right there. That was nice. And now Cardoso will serve. So let's see if she can get some points back for the Tide. They're down by 1. This is big. They need this. They need this to stay alive. 19-18, Saugus is up. Ooh, just out. It was close, but just out of bounds. Sachems will get it back. Now they're in the 20s, 20-18. Ryan Maloney over to, serves it to Hernandez. Miranda keeps it alive to No. What a job by No. Powers it over the net. Now Hernandez sets up Miranda. Michelle No again. Ah, man, good bid. But it doesn't go. Nice job. Liv Tomaz, excellent bid right there. Maloney over to Millerick. Now it's a Branches. And the Sachems get that one. So now the Sachems are getting closer to what would be match point. It's 23-18. Liv Tomas. Oh, good effort by Liv. Almost got it over. So now this is match point. Sachems serving for match point. Tied down by 6. This has been a great third set. Here we go. Ryan Maloney serves it. Branches handles it. Hernandez over to Miranda. Miranda to Millerick. Maloney. Now it's Ava Rogers. Dug out by Hernandez. Why not? She's done it all game. But that one is gonna fall. And it's the Saugus Sachems. They played extraordinary tonight, and the Sachems take this 3-0. And the extraordinary effort was also on the Crimson Tide side. I want to say what a job the Crimson Tide did tonight. Effort was outstanding. It was just a great match back and forth. You got to tip your hats to both teams. Credit the Sachems for the win, but the Everett Crimson Tide should be proud. They did a great job. They played hard, and their heads should be held high. Great crowd on hand here tonight. The atmosphere was rocking, and that's what we like to see. But that is going to do it here from Everett High School. We want to thank you for joining us for volleyball night on EHS TV 15. We'd like to give a special thanks to our essential administration, Superintendent of Schools Priya Tehliani, Deputy Superintendent Kim Sai, Assistant Superintendent Charles Obremski and Kevin Shaw, Chief Financial Officer Anu Madapa Giant, Budget and Grants Director Shirley Pang, Director of Remote Learning and Instruction Ann Auger, Director of Special Education William Donahue, High School Principal Eric Nauman, Assistant Principal Andrea Tringali, our Athletic Director Tammy Turner, Communications Coordinator Dave O'Connor, and all the faculty and staff here at Everett High School. I'd also like to recognize our television studio, my cameraman this evening, Noah Joyce, and our director back in the studio, Bill Munier. I'm Josh Delgazo. From all of us here at EHS TV 15, want to wish you a good night.